Good morning. This is our Vacation Bible School lesson number 1, and the theme of the Bible school is the miraculous mission. And Jesus saves the world was his mission. What we're going to talk about is how that mission developed and where it came from and what our part can be in it. But lesson 1 is God made the universe, and God made me as part of that miraculous mission. And if in Genesis chapter 1 you look, you'll see that God in verse 3 made light, in verse 6 made air, verse 9 made land and sea, and verse 11 made plants. And the thing about plants is that plants use carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. And people need oxygen to breathe in to live and breathe out the carbon dioxide. So part of God's wonderful plan is right there. And then in verse 14, he made the sun and the moon. And the sun is the perfect distance from the earth. If the sun were a little bit further away, it would be too cold and we couldn't live. If it was a little bit closer, it would be too hot and we couldn't live. And then in verse 20, he made fish. In 21, he made birds. In 24, he made land animals. In 26, he made man. And in chapter 2:21, he made woman. And that's us. And how did it happen? God spoke and it happened. God has the power to say, make dirt, make air, make sun. And it happened. Why did he make it? He made us and he made the earth because he wanted friends. He wanted men and women to be like him and to love him and care about him. And he wanted men and women to take care of the earth. Paul says in Romans chapter 1 that you can know God by looking at God's tracks in nature, all of these things that he made. And then one of our reasons for being here is to please God. And how do we please God? Well, we please God by doing our job. And our job is to love God and to love our neighbor. You find that in Mark 12:30 and 31. Another thing is that Jesus and God loved children. Children are part of the earth, part of what he made, like you and I. And the reason he loved children is because they were happy and kind and helpful. You can find that in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 13. And so God made the earth and God made us as part of the miraculous mission. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have an assignment, a mission for us. And your mission after this lesson is to go outside, go in the backyard, look in the house, look around, and make a list of 6 things that are alive. And write them down and look at them and say, God made you and God made me too. And we can be a part of his miraculous mission by loving our neighbors, by loving ourselves, and by loving God. Thank you for listening to this lesson number 1. God made the universe and God made us. Thanks. Bye.